Alright guys, 2014 Dodge Grand Caravan. It's got the 3.6 Pentastar and threw the check engine light recently, and we had a P0128 code. So that's coolant temperature below regulating temperature. So that means the thermostat's bad. Got some parts to fix it here. So whenever I do a job like this, I like to see what's best available on the market. So our friends at Dorman have aluminum versions of the thermostat housing. And then this is the crossover pipe. So right now these factory parts are plastic, and plastic will get brittle over time. So I figured if I'm gonna do the job, just do it right. And here's the part number here, 9023102 HP. And the part number on this one is 9023036XD. Now this one runs a little bit cooler than stock, which should be fine. I just didn't want to put another plastic housing back on. And then I got this to help put the coolant back in. So OEM Tools 87009. And I'll put a link in the description for all these items. So first step here, we'll get this power steering reservoir out of the way, and I'm gonna get this intake out of the way as well. All right, it's a 13 millimeter nut for the power steering. I'll loosen up this clamp for the intake hose. And this air box should just pull up out of here. Okay, so here's the thermostat right here. You know, that's certainly an option if you just want to replace that. You don't have to replace that crossover tube, but I want to get all these pieces aluminum because it's eventually going to fail. All right, we'll get this hose clamp off. And I got a catch pan below. I'm not gonna drain the radiator, I'm just gonna let this drain out. All right, then there's two 10 millimeter bolts that hold the thermostat housing on. Okay, so that's what the plastic version looks like. Okay, so up next, to get to this crossover pipe, this engine mount's gotta come out of here. You're gonna want to put your jack with a piece of wood under the oil pan. You don't need to jack it up, just support it. All right, so these three here are 16 millimeter. And these two smaller ones are 13 millimeter. And it looks like there's a little ground strap on here. So I'll just leave that connected and move it off to the side. All right, so up next there's 4 bolts that hold this on. So we'll go ahead and get them out. And this is 16 millimeter. And the smaller one down here is 13 millimeters. So you have 3 16 and 1 13. All right, with the engine mount out of the way, that exposes this crossover pipe. You can see it right there. So we'll go ahead and looks like those are all 10 millimeter bolts, and I'll keep track of where they come out in case there's different lengths. All right, all the bolts are out, so this is free. And the rubber gasket's sticking to the block. And then we just gotta disconnect this heater hose back here. Okay, so here's the 2 side by side. And as I took these bolts out, I just put them in the new one where they should go. So now I'll transfer these bolts into the old one so I know where to put them. Okay, so that's what that looks like with the crossover off. And I'll just go ahead and wipe off this surface, make sure there's no dirt or debris on it where that rubber seal is going to go on. So there's this little piece of a heater hose here. It's probably about 6 inches long. It's about 11 years old, so I went to the auto parts store and I got a foot of heater, 5/8 heater hose. Figured I might as well replace it while I'm in here, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right, got the new heater hose on. So now we'll get this crossover bolted back on. So make sure your rubber gasket's seated, like you see there. And we'll get all the bolts started, then we'll torque them down to 7 foot-pounds. All right, all the bolts are in, so we'll go ahead and start torquing these down. And it's 7 foot-pounds. And I probably want to go over these a couple times because there's that rubber gasket that'll compress. Okay, crossover is all torqued down, so now we can go ahead and put the motor mount back on. And these 2 bolts just came out with it because there's not enough room to take the bolts out. Okay, up next we'll put the thermostat back in, so make sure your rubber gasket's seated all the way. Okay, thermostat housing bolts are snugged up, so we'll torque these down to 8 foot-pounds. And once again, these are 10 millimeter. Okay, put the radiator hose back on. Okay, so at this point, all that's left is to put the air box back in and put the power steering reservoir back on. And then we should be able to fill up the coolant. Okay, so this funnel comes with different attachments. So this looks like the one that works for this. So you just put that in there, and then this holds it down. So that's tight in there. And then this funnel just goes in there like that. And then now I'm gonna take that bleed screw out down there. It's a 16 millimeter. So go ahead and take that out. So there's the bleed screw, and there's a little rubber O-ring still in there, so you don't want to lose that. Make sure that's in there. All right, go ahead and add some coolant. And this is the pre-diluted stuff, so no need to add water. Okay, so coolant's coming out of that bleed. So I'll put that bolt back in. Okay, so we got some coolant in this funnel filled up. So we'll go ahead and start it and wait for this thermostat to open up. And we'll turn the heat on. Leave the fan off though. Now it's slowly burping itself here. You can see the air come up. It'll probably take a little while to get this hot enough for that thermostat to open though. All right, temp gauge is showing halfway. There's hot air coming out the vent. And this is no longer bubbling. And you can see a little bit of steam from the residual stuff that dripped out when you're taking it apart. So I think this cooling system should be full. Go ahead and put this plug in there and we can take this off. Drain it back in the jug. All right, I'll go ahead and shut it off. Put the radiator cap back on. Okay, so you're gonna wanna watch your overflow tank here. Just make sure it's at the proper level. There's a min-max on the side there. So just keep an eye on that over the next few days, because as you drive it, there may be some air pockets that come out. So once it goes through a couple heat and cool cycles, this might draw some from there. All right, we'll go ahead and clear this code. Okay, so that check engine light should be off now. And it is. So I think, you know, you can buy a cheap reader like this, include the code, or after some drive cycles that light may turn off eventually, but it's just an easy way to do it. All right, guys, this job should be done. Thanks for following along. It's really not that bad of a job. Just takes, I don't know, a couple hours. Like I said, I'll put all the links in the description for all the parts I used. And check out my Grand Caravan playlist. I got quite a few videos on there for maintenance and repairs. You know, I got these cooling system fixes here if you want to check those out. All right, see you in the next one.